Alright, so this was somewhat of a discouraging trip up to Grand Mesa as we were heading here. The trailer jumped off the ball. Alright, so we're on our last few days here in Delta, Colorado. We're up here at Grand Mesa right now, and I'm just scouting for our first real boondocking experience in our camper. What I mean by real boondocking experience is I mean parking somewhere in National Forest that's not actually a campsite. So I called ahead and they said they prefer you to stay anywhere that you've seen fire pits before. It looks like there's been several campsites here. So we found our first sites. It is a Sunday, the weekend before the 4th of July. So I have a feeling it's going to be nice and open. We got a lake down here. And so we're just scouting out because we're going to come up here with my mom tomorrow. I don't know if there's any cell towers up here at all anywhere, but I kind of need some kind of signal for work. Not finding any signal, but this is the first site we found free so far. Okay, watch out, Nala. So we're going to keep on driving and see what we can find. Here's a neat little spot, other than it's raining like cats and dogs. Extremely muddy. No signal. Let's walk up here and see what this is. Pretty sure there's a lake on the other side of this hill. Oh, the air smells good. Definitely no need for any kind of generator this time of year. It's going to be on the cold side. Ooh, look at this. As I slip down the hill. Are you checking out the beautiful scenery, Nala? Are ya? Let's check it out. Calm down, Nala. Come check this out, Nala. Come check out the waterfall. Nala doesn't like to explore this kind of stuff, but you do, don't you? I've pulled on this ball for at least 10,000 miles. And it is a 2 5/16 of an inch ball. This was latched and locked. I had to unlock it after it came off the ball and we drug it down the road 20 feet. I had to unlock it so that I could put it back on the hitch. Also, I used the jack after hitch to make sure it was attached by pulling up on the back of my truck, which it lifted. So, I have to figure out why this thing came off the ball. The other thing is the emergency brake is pretty well worthless. I taped it so the pin wouldn't fall out while we're driving the rest of the way up here to the mountain. I was halfway here. It's either drive back or drive up. So I'll work on this while I'm here and figure out something. But the emergency brake, it literally pulled it right off the camper and it busted the plastic. It literally just busted it off. It didn't do anything. It was worthless. It was a complete pile of junk. The plastic broke. Instead of pulling the pin out, it broke it. As you can see, it bent that back. That's going to need replaced. And it also landed on the weight distribution hitch that I use when I'm pulling with the Honda. So I put in a call for insurance. It doesn't look like anything else is twisted or bent. Everything else looks fine. I don't think we damaged any more than really the jack and maybe the weight distribution hitch, but it probably just needs to be put back in the right position. The question is, what caused this thing to pop off the ball? I literally have pulled this camper 25,000 miles with no issue like this. 15,000 on the weight distribution hitch and about 10,000 on just the regular hitch when I'm pulling it with my truck. I'm really confused of what took place here. Also, I don't feel any adjustment anywhere here. I don't see any adjustment anywhere here. I don't get it. I don't understand what transpired. I'm completely perplexed. But on a positive note, we are here in the National Forest, Grand Mesa, Colorado, and I found a neat little double spot for my mom. Her camper's right there, pretty level, and I'm right here. So it seems to be a nice little spot. We're just getting all set up here at the site. Hopefully things will improve. And Nala's just sitting patiently in the truck while we get things put away. Do you want to go in the camper, Nala? Do you? You want to go in the camper? Camper? Or are you just happy right there? Hey, Nala, look at me. Nala! Nala! Boop. I did manage to get internet. I stuck my jetpack on top of my mom's air conditioner on her RV. Right up on top of that. I did go ahead and decide to power up the generator because we are literally the only two people out here within miles. There's no one out here, it's just us. So I just left the generator in the back of the truck. We could run on batteries this whole thing, but I figure I might as well, put the generator out of mothballs. If you don't use something, it goes bad just sitting. So it wouldn't hurt to have that generator ran a little bit.
To take to do that.
You're giving me a hug.
Oh,
I love her.
Hi, Nala. Hi.
Oh, here it comes. Okay.
Are you all comfy, Nala? Nala still thinks she's a tiny puppy.
it's not going to take you very good. Without a flash.
There's Buddy.
It doesn't show
An old
up.
three-legged, no-tailed.
It doesn't show you up. See, that's
No,
all
three-legged?
That's what this does at night.
No-tailed,
You can't
three-legged
see him
cow.
very good.
There's Roxy just standing. Alert. Time to get ready for dinner. I wanted to point out, I bought these little tables from Walmart, and they fold down to be about, well, what is that? About 18 inches by 18 inches, roughly. You can take and fit 2 of these behind the sofa in the camper. There's the other one right there, and we can fit 2 right here. I have room for a chair. We have room for a TV table here. And also when we have the other one out here in the sofa area, it's just so much more room. The legs already busted off the other table, and I fixed them, but they already started coming loose, you know, pulling out of the particle board. So I fixed them, but it was just a bigger table. It takes up a lot more room behind the sofa, and it just made more sense to have 2 tables, more space inside if we have a table, a little table if we wanted it. We can set it right next to the bed when we have the bed in the upright position while we're watching TV or whatever. So it just made more sense. So something you may want to check out or consider. I'm going to use the old table in my ham shack. It's still a nice looking table. You know, the one that came with the camper is a nice looking table, but it's not really practical for this size of camper. Not really. It's too big. So one of my subscribers mentioned I should be cooking with avocado oil instead of olive oil. It doesn't start to smoke and burn off until it's a higher temperature. So I'm going to give that a shot. I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but I'm going to give that a shot. So what I usually do is, I don't know how to cook. You've seen my videos before. I don't know how to cook, but somehow I managed to pull this off. And what I did today is I went to Divine Fish and Meat Market in Montrose. The owner there, I had a good chat with him, Toby, I believe he said his name was. Next time I come through town, I'll get some footage of inside the store. He said I could do that for him. But they have really, really good fresh meat there. Definitely check it out. So anyway, tonight we're doing ahi tuna. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So I'm going to get it all ready. So my point to this is, I guess, not to say this is how you should cook or this is how you can cook, but if I can pull this off and everybody enjoys it, I think anybody can. I just take a ton of oil. I pick whatever seasonings I can get. I got pink salt with, what does that say? Himalayan pink salt with black pepper and garlic. And then I had this scorpion. And then Voodoo, which I bought today because I like hot, so apparently I can't get enough. Some Mrs. Dash. I did some lemon pepper. Some cookies. Alright, so I sopped the fish around in there. Just let it sit for a bit. I don't really marinate. I don't take that much time. I let it sit for while we're getting other stuff ready. It's done in like 5 minutes. Alright, I got my skillet on high, which is 30,000 BTUs with this stove. Let's see how off level I am. The oil should stay in the center. Let's see if I have to adjust it a little. I need to raise the back legs a little. I don't really use this table that came with the camper. If you look at it, you can see it slants. It's rather puny. In the way this camper's built, I wouldn't trust it ripping out the anchor point on the side of the camper if you put an actual Blackstone grill or something on this thing. So I just got this really light container with just a few barbecue accessories. Now this is uncharted territory for me. This isn't going to boil like the other oil, but it is starting to smoke, so I think it must be ready. I'll put a little more oil and throw the fish on. Alright, I set my timer for 2.5 minutes. So when it goes off, then I'll flip them over. Alright, set it for another 2.5 minutes. So I don't know how much altitude affects this. We're now at about 9,000 feet, I think. I've never cooked this at 9,000 feet. The highest I've ever cooked this is at, the highest I've ever used this grill is at my mom's house, which is 4,800 feet. So hopefully it's okay. All right, turn that off. So total time is 5 minutes.
One?
Yep. So here's our modest ahi tuna dinner with microwave potatoes. And you can see the nice part is we still have the one table outside. We have another table because we were able to carry 2 tables, and we had room for the fold-up chair. So we literally are carrying all this inside the camper, so we can now all just sit at a table. And if I wanted to, I could put the TV table out, but we got all this stuff. We haven't finished putting stuff away yet. So it was some of the seasonings I used put a little bit too much salt, but it's still good. It's not quite terrible. I don't know if Robin's just being nice.
No, it tastes good.
It does taste good. But the meat itself is perfect. You might have gone 2 minutes instead of 2.5, but it's still really good. And it's just not really pink. But 2 minutes would have probably been better. But there you go. Pretty sure there's a lake on the other side of this hill.